Hi, all. Earthy Wise Woman here. And this evening, I would like to talk about breakup candles. Now, this is a breakup candle. There are many types. This is your classic one. And what it basically is the figure of a man and a woman facing each other's backs. So they are opposite of each other, basically broken up. Now, a lot of people just kind of use this sort of willy-nilly, a little too quickly. And there is a time and there is a reason when you would use these candles. Um, First of all, I would tell most people it's probably better to confront the person that you want to break up with, first of all, and let them know, hey, it's over. And then burn the candle. And better to do it that way than to just light the candle and then hope that it works and you guys break up, because that would be a lot more messier. And believe me, it's too much and not worth it. And there's another way that you can burn this candle. A lot of people do not realize this, so I'm going to go over that. Another way you can burn this candle is there are two wicks on a breakup candle. A lot of people don't realize that, but there are two wicks, a male and a female. I have many times have had to help people break away from a spouse or a partner who is physically or mentally not healthy for them. And in doing so, I would tell people, do not burn both ends of the candle. Just burn the person who you want to get rid of. So in that case, it would be one of those where I would, if I want to get rid of a destructive man or a man in my life who's really not doing me any good, I would burn the male of this candle and I would keep the female, and I wouldn't burn her at all because that represents myself. Now, what I would do then, after I've burned the male and he's completely done, and my female candle is left, I am going to then change the way I do the spell. In that case, I would take the female and I would em- empower her because she's me. So I'm going to write my name on her and I'm going to empower her with energies. But in this case, I would also get rid of. So here's the thing, I've burned down this male candle and I want to empower this woman candle with the strength to go on and to continue her life without this man. So what I would do then is just get rid of the negative energy. He was the negative energy. So in doing so, I would cast to get rid of my hurt feelings. I would cast to get rid of my feelings of regret. I would cast to get rid of my feelings of loneliness. Because even though someone is bad for us, we sometimes still miss them because we are used to having the relationship. So I would actually cast to get rid of those feelings of having to need this man. So, as I said, there are more than one ways to use a breakup candle. Okay, now, if I just want to just end it, let's say I am not the person. This is not me. I am me. But I desperately need to save, let's say, a person, a friend who's in a physically or mentally abusive relationship. And she's asked for my help. She has told me, please help me. I am in a very bad relationship and I can't get out, but I need help and I need to get out of this relationship. In that case, I would actually burn both sides of the candle, both the male and the female. And I would basically say something to the extent of, let these two part their ways, but I would make sure no harm comes to her. She will be safe, she will be protected. And I would probably just anoint her side with protection oil to make sure that this side could not hurt her. And that works vice versa. If a man is in a destructive relationship and you know that the woman could cause him bodily harm, You can take this side of the candle and you can coat it with protection oil to protect him, and, banishing oil on that side to make sure that she goes away. Or, like I said, vice versa. All right. However, I do want to mention that the reason why breakup candles, they can be in black or white. I've seen white too, because white represents pretty much any color. If you can't think of the color, you would use a white candle. This black candle, black in this case, in this uh, candle, because it's a breakup candle, represents banishing and separation. Um, yes, it can be used for hexing. I would strongly recommend you don't do that, only because it's not wise to take on an energy that you are not sure of, especially relationships. If this is not your relationship personally, I would strongly suggest you don't get involved in it. My grandmother used to say, "You do not know the mind of a man and a woman. Only that man and woman understands." Even if the woman tells you, "Oh, he's a terrible guy. I want him out of my life." I would not burn the candle for her. I would tell her what to do. I would suggest she gets the candle. But I myself would not actually do the casting of the spell. I believe that would be her responsibility, because one of the ways to break up and leave something is to take responsibility for it. You can't really leave anything until you take responsibility for it. Okay. And that's more than ever true in love spells. And a breakup spell is a love spell because you are breaking up a relationship. The only person who can really break up the relationship truly are the two people involved. So that's why I would tell somebody who is an outsider, you can advise or you can suggest. But if this person is in a situation where they're like, they cannot do that spell, and they're telling you, hey, I am physically in danger. I can't physically do this spell, but I need it done. Okay, I can see that being done then. But also remember one thing, you are still taking on the responsibility for the magic. Please be sure to do protection spells for yourself as the practitioner casting that spell for someone, because it is not always advisable to cast a magic spell for anyone. Okay, it is much more advisable for that person to do it themselves, because that is a heavy responsibility that anyone's is taking on. And I would tell anybody, never, ever, ever cast a spell for a specific person, because again, it's kind of going against the wishes of someone else. All right. So here's the thing. One of the reasons why a person would have to cast a breakup spell like this is, in some cases, because they may have cast a binding cast. Oh, I want this woman to be with me, or I want that man to be with me. I want them to be bound to me. And you got them, and then you don't want them. You might have to do something like this. But again, I'm going to strongly suggest anyone who uses a breakup candle, let it be yours. Your responsibility, your magic. So you're the one who's going to have to use it. So let's break down once again. I like to reiterate. How do you use this candle? There are two ways to use it. Yes, you can burn both the male and the female. All right? You can burn them at the same time. All right? I do not cast the spell that way myself. I personally would suggest to a person who is using this candle, burn the person you want to get rid of. Get them out of your life. So therefore, if you're the woman, burn the guy and get them out. Okay. Now I'm going to also stint for those who are in a same-sex relationship. They do make this candle, and women are male and male. They do make that candle this way. Okay. However, it doesn't have to. If you can't find that candle, what you would do is just go ahead and just burn the side that you identify that person as, the energy, because women can have masculine energy and vice versa. So burn the side that you identify your partner as to get them out of your life. And then after you have burned that side of the candle and you are still left with you, your own side, your side of the candle, what you want to do is to coat your side in protection oil, and then you want to get rid of the energy. You want to get rid of the energy of the relationship, the negative energy of that relationship, the negative words that were said to you, or the negative things that were done to you. And you then want to become empowered. Because even though this is a black candle, black can also mean empowerment because it's to get rid of the negativity that brought you down. And that is what you're doing. You're lightening your load. You're getting rid of the negative energy that that relationship cost you. So that's why I would burn it that way. I've burned it both ways. Both ways work. I just like the latter one better because it is a longer process to cast a spell. And sometimes the longer you take to do a spell, the much more potent the spell is. Okay? Because candles are not a light it and forget it. Okay? This is not a air freshener that you just light the candle. Okay, now the relationship is over. Bye. You have to put energy into your magic. All right? So the best way to put energy into your magic is to take your time. Think about what it is you're trying to get rid of. Do not just, okay, I want to get rid of this man out of my life. Bye. Light this candle. No. Okay. I want you to think about what it was about this relationship you didn't like. Was he too controlling? Was she too demanding? Was he jealous? Was she jealous? Was there a lot of mistrust in the relationship? uh, was there lots of miscommunication? And the reason I'm strongly suggesting that you figure out what it was about that relationship that caused you to go and buy this candle and want to utilize it is because if you don't figure out what it was that caused you to break this relationship, you are unfortunately going to repeat yourself by getting the same partner in a different body. So figure out what it was that messed up this relationship. Write it down if you have to. And that's not a bad idea. I have seen practitioners do it. Literally write down exactly what was wrong with the relationship, what was amiss, what the person did. They would roll it up and they can put it between the candle, okay? And light both ends. And please do, if you do it that way, please make sure you're in a nice tin where, it's a little safer when the flames go up. But what I'm trying to say is this is not a light it and forget it. No spell should be treated that way. Magic spells should be treated with respect because you're dealing with forces. You're dealing with the energies of the universe. You're dealing with deity. You don't just up. This is not a drive-through restaurant where you just go up and order, a burger and go on your merry way. Take your time. Figure out what it is that you want to do with your magic. Write it down. Put it in your BOS, okay? Or your grimoire, and then do it. But remember, there is always a reason why this candle has two wicks. One on one side, one on the other. You do not have to light both at the same time. So think about how I said it. If you have any questions, this is Earthly Wise Woman, and I'm here to answer them, okay? Blessed be.